So while you've been hunting around trying to find a new controller, this one probably didn't pop up on your radar. So I feel like it's my responsibility to tell you all about it because this thing's actually really good. So this one's been sent out to me by Gulikit. This is their ES Pro. You've probably heard of Gulikit because they make the TMR upgrades for Xbox controllers, PlayStation controllers, pretty much everything that you can think of. But I'm guessing that a lot of people don't actually realize that they make full controllers. And they sent out this one to me. This is their ES Pro. This isn't necessarily their kind of top of the range, but this is a very special controller, and I'm going to tell you why. We do have an Xbox style controller with its own little flair, so non-symmetrical joysticks, A, B, X, and Y buttons. We've also got a D-pad that is very similar to a standard Xbox controller. Just to show you what I'm talking about here, we've got a normal Xbox controller. Take a look at the D-pad, have a good look at that, and then the Gulikit one there as well. They are almost identical in size, shape, everything, except one little difference, and that is something that actually people complain about a lot on the standard Xbox Series X controllers, and that is that these are too clicky. The one on the Gulikit is the same shape, size, feel, but much quieter. One thing about the face buttons though is Gulikit did offer to send me out a Switch version of the face buttons. Now, I told them not to bother because I don't actually have a Nintendo Switch, so I wouldn't really be able to take advantage of this, and I don't want them to waste their resources on something that I can't really benefit from. But they did offer a kit to swap around the A, B, X, and Y so that they match the Nintendo Switch layout, which I think is really cool because this controller is designated for use on PC or Nintendo Switch. Those are kind of the two platforms that you're going to be using this thing on. It's not natively supported by PS5 consoles or Xbox consoles, and even as a PC controller, your only options are going to be via Bluetooth or with a cable. I do highly recommend with a cable because this controller has very, very low latency, and I'm going to get into that in just a moment. We've got TMR joysticks, Hall effect triggers. These things are really, really good, super smooth, really comfortable, some nice dampening there as well. The bumpers, nice and quiet, but quite clicky as well. These feel really, really nice, honestly, and probably amongst some of the best bumpers that I've ever used. TMR joysticks, now they are so smooth, and honestly, I think it's got to be the best feature about this controller. I do have the Xbox controller here fitted with some Jinful TMR sticks, which are cheaper and definitely do show. These ones are pretty good as well, and they're a well-worthy upgrade over the standard ones, but the Gulikit, for me at least, are kind of taking the crown at the moment. And if it wasn't a case of trying to cut costs down, I would install Gulikit TMR sticks in all the controllers that I can, because these things really, really are so good. You're never going to get stick drift. They are great for FPS games. They are super responsive. They are such a nice tension as well. They're not too light, not too heavy. They're non-adjustable, but most controllers aren't anyway. But honestly, I think a lot of people are going to find these really, really comfortable and get along with them just fine. Now, this controller is only $30 or 30 British pounds. It's available on Amazon, and depending on where you are in the world, you can get that delivered next day. These things are widely available. They come in 3 different colors, I believe. So I think it's black, white, and gray. Now, with a controller that only costs $30-ish, I think it's maybe like 35 or maybe 40 at most, they have to keep the cost low somewhere. But the reason I love this controller and what this brand is doing with their controllers is they have their focus in the right areas. What I mean by that is, yes, there are going to be some features missing from this controller that you probably would really like, such as some back buttons. This doesn't have any extra buttons on the back, on the top, or anywhere. It's just basically a standard Xbox layout controller. So it doesn't come with any extra stuff over what an Xbox controller does come with, other than obviously a gyroscope. It does have a gyroscope. And again, yes, it's a wireless controller. It does have a battery in here, but it doesn't come with like a 2.4 gigahertz dongle like most controllers do. So, like I said, on PC, you're going to be using this thing Bluetooth or with a wired connection, because they're your only 2 options with it. Also, it doesn't have a headphone jack as well. But to be honest, for using this with a Nintendo Switch or on a PC, that's not really needed at all. So not really a negative thing to say about it. The controller has all the essentials and nothing more. But the thing is, it just does everything right. So those essentials, such as the comfort, the layout, the build quality, the joysticks, the input lag, all of that, they are scoring really high in. But it's just the features where this controller isn't really shining. But if you're using a standard Xbox controller at the moment and you're just tired of your bumpers breaking or getting stick drift and you want something that's just the same but a step up, then this really is the controller. The D-pad is a much quieter operation, but you still keep that really nice shape, size, and feel of the clickiness. The joysticks are concave and set up just the same as an Xbox controller, but these TMR modules are a lot better. You're not going to get stick drift, and they're higher resolution, smoother, more responsive. And speaking of responsiveness, this controller has a very, very low amount of input lag as well. It's a 1000 Hz controller, and using it with a wired connection, it's one of the fastest out there. Very low stick latency, very low button latency as well. So even for competitive FPS use, although this controller is lacking in extra features that would be an advantage, it still makes it a great contender, and it's cheap as hell. And another thing that I love about this thing as well is the focus has definitely been on the build quality and the feel. It feels very much like an Xbox controller, but with a slightly different flair on the back here. So these corners in here are a little bit sharper, and it just means you can get a better grip of the controller. The Xbox controller is a little bit bulkier, a little bit thicker, because it's got that battery compartment, but this one is slightly different and it's very, very comfortable, I've got to say. The face buttons are membrane, but they feel really, really nice as well. They are really snappy, but also very quiet in operation, much quieter than a standard Xbox controller. You can check out all my sound tests. I upload shorts of sound tests of all the controllers that I review. So head to the channel if you want to go have a listen to those, and I'll be uploading the one for this very, very shortly. The bumpers are quiet, the triggers are quiet, the face buttons are quiet, the D-pad is quiet, and everything feels super, super nice. The build quality of this thing is excellent, although that the finish on the top of the faceplate and around the shell doesn't necessarily look like anything special. It's got quite a heavy texture to it, but it's got some really, really nice details, such as the Gulikit logo, and we've got some textured grip on the back of the controller here. It's not rubber, it is just the textured grip of the plastic, but it feels really, really nice. Very similar to what you get on Xbox controllers now, and it does a great job, honestly. Can't complain at all. Where all the screws go in the back of the controller, we've got all these little rubber grommets just to cover it up, and I think it's a really nice touch as well. There's a lot of attention to detail to this controller. To say how cheap it is, which is kind of crazy. USB-C port on the top for charging. We've got a little wireless pairing mode button down on the bottom of the controller here just to enable Bluetooth pairing. Yeah, honestly, there's not really much more to say about this thing. It's cheap, and I love the fact that this brand has just clearly focused on all the right areas. It is a little bit of a shame that there's no back buttons on this thing. I personally would benefit from that, but it's not worth the trade-off if another part of the controller they had to make not as good. For example, if they had to put a cheaper D-pad in and make it super clicky and loud, or just feel a bit mushy. Little switch on the back of the controller there to switch it from PC to Nintendo Switch. Now, there isn't a companion app for this controller, so you can't go into an application and customize and configure everything. Everything's done on the controller itself with a sequence of buttons that comes in the user manual. It's super easy to follow. But again, just another cost that they've had to cut. If they were to develop an application and then have, I don't know, software coders to actually implement all the features and everything like that, that's just going to be more and more cost. So $29.99, you get a controller with everything you need. And this thing feels super durable as well, giving it a squeeze and a wiggle. There's no creaking or rattling at all. And honestly, it's just a really, really nice controller. If you have any questions, pop them in the comments for me. Huge thanks to Gulikit for sending this controller out to me. It was provided to me completely free of charge, but I'm not being paid to make this video. I'm not being paid to promote this product. These opinions are entirely my own. Drop the video a like for me, hit subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss a future upload, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.